There are some insane armor sets for Yasuke that can increase his damage by 75%, survive death, and add brand new mechanics to his dodge or parry. Let's go! Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do one of these for best trinkets. I don't know how exciting trinkets are, but if you want them, then I might do one. All right, we're going to start with number 5. That is the Defense Master. This is one of the earlier sets you can get in the game. Now, the head wrap comes with slow down time after a successful dodge. So anytime you have like a perfect dodge, basically, you'll then slow down time for a short time. It's only a couple of seconds, but it does allow you to reposition if you want to try and get behind targets or say charge up like those sheath attack, posture attack combos. You can charge up them while that slowdown effect is happening. Now, the Defense Master clothing restores 10% of your health on next hit after parry. This is really good to synergize with another set that's later on this build, which is why this set does make it onto this list, because these are both really good perks, but they're sort of mostly based around using these perks on other gear to benefit other gear, but the set does look quite good. Now, the head wrap is located inside the legendary chest in the Miki castle. Same with all these castles, make sure you take out the samurais, etc., then you'll get the chest. The clothing is located in the Himeji castle, which is also in the Harima region. Both of these castles are in the Harima region, which is one of the early sections of the game, which you'll be able to grab. Yasuke's heavy armor is great for protection, especially the Protector's set, but if you want to protect your internet usage, you need ExpressVPN. Because I travel a lot for work, I'm often connected to unencrypted networks like hotel and airport Wi-Fi's. Any hacker on the same network can gain access to and steal my personal data, like passwords, bank logins, etc. But that's where ExpressVPN comes in. ExpressVPN stops hackers from stealing my data by creating a secure and encrypted tunnel between my device and the internet, while also stopping advertisers and big tech companies from tracking me online. But that's not all ExpressVPN can do. They have servers in over 100 countries, so you can gain access to region-restricted content on streaming apps like Netflix to watch thousands of new shows and never run out of stuff to watch. ExpressVPN is easy to use by simply opening up the app and clicking one button, and is available across all of your devices, phones, laptops, tablets, smart TVs, and more, providing blazing fast speeds to stream in HD or even game with zero buffering. Find out how you can get 4 months free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/Nauza. Thanks ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Moving on to one of my favorite sets, the Master Archer. The Master Archer headband slows down time on headshots every 8 seconds, and the outfit gives you a plus 200% damage with ranged weapons while out of combat. So the chest piece you can actually use with the Teppo as well, by the way, because it is just ranged weapons, not just bow, even though it is called the Master Archer set. What's really great about this is it synergizes just so well with bows in general, because obviously you're going to want to try and hit the headshots anyway. When you do, it slows down time, allowing you to charge up like a next fully charged arrow to deal maximum damage. And you can synergize it with the Last Breath bow that I mentioned in my best weapons video, which instantly triggers afflictions on headshots. So essentially that synergy is perfect, right? So it only costs you 1 arrow of those affliction arrows to trigger, say, bleed on the target. Then you've got that slowdown effect. The arrow timer will tick down. You can hit him again with another bleed arrow or hit other enemies while that timing effect is slowed. It's just a really solid set, plus 200% damage on ranged weapons while out of combat is great to start combat if you're out of silent arrows. Obviously silent arrows will just one-shot those enemies, but you can still almost one-shot enemies just with normal arrows because of that plus 200%, and then finish them off while that slowdown effect is active. Secretly though, the bow and having a really good bow setup is like one of the most broken builds for Yasuke, because enemies just won't reach you. You'll just kill them before they even get there. So the headband comes from the legendary chest inside the Kanagasika castle. This is in the Wakasa region of the map, and the Master Archer headband is at the very top of that region where that castle is located. And then the outfit itself comes from the Suruga castle, which is a little bit further down, but still in that very same like top north area of the Wakasa region. You'll be able to grab both of these sets up there. Moving on to the Protector's set, one of the very early sets that you'll get in the game, almost like as soon as you unlock Yasuke, as it's in that same region, but still like one of the best sets in the game for a couple of reasons. So the Protector's helmet deal 50% damage to an attacker on parry. fantastic, because when you're fighting with Yasuke, you're going to be fighting a lot of enemies. They're all going to attack you. You can just stand there and parry them, deal damage back to them. That damage is calculated off the damage of your weapon, by the way. So the more weapon damage you have, the more damage that this attack will actually do. Protector's armor can parry unblockable attacks. So those unblockable attacks are those red attacks that you see enemies wind up. Just this perk in general is just absolutely fantastic for Yasuke, because you can then just block everything. Really makes a difference. And it's funny how much you'll realize that this perk just makes such a difference, and even just putting this perk on any of your other Yasuke gear, because sometimes like when I've been playing around with different sets and switching sets, I'll like just by habit go to parry these attacks and go, oh, I haven't got that perk on, and you take the damage from it. It just really makes such a difference. Now, there's a great synergy with using this set with that Defense Master set we were talking about earlier, as well as the Katana that has the pushes back enemies on parry. If you like that sort of setup and that overall build, that is the build that I did in my Legendaries video, which I'll link here if you want to go watch that video, learn a bit more about how that works. But just some really good synergies overall with just using this set, and it works with any sort of weapon, right? You can parry it with any weapon. It doesn't have to be the katana that we're talking about, but it's just sort of the best way to do it. So the Protector's helmet, this is located inside a legendary chest in the Hanazana castle in the Yamashiro region. This castle is up the top of the region, and I think there's only one samurai here, so it's a very easy one to clear out to get that legendary chest. And the Protector's armor is actually right in the middle of Yamashiro in the Nijo Palace. You'll need to clear this out as always. Unlock the chest in the middle and you are golden. Literally. All right, Samurai Daimyo is next. Now, this set comes with two fantastic perks. The first being the Helmet of Legend to trigger Samurai Stand on death once per combat. Now, something to note about this, Samurai Stand is an ability in this Samurai line. If you don't have that ability unlocked, this effect won't actually trigger. You don't have to have it assigned to your ability wheel. You just have to have unlocked that Samurai Stand ability. So if you're wondering if this helmet isn't working for you, that's probably why. Fantastic way to save yourself from death, as you'll essentially get back up. You'll be able to swing at enemies, restore some of your health, and sort of stay alive. Very similar to the Last Dance set that Naoe has. Now, this combos perfectly with the perk that is on the Armor of Legend. So you get plus 75% damage, but limits your health to 25%. Something to note about this, you can actually see this stat reduction and increase in your inventory screen when you're looking underneath your level. You'll be able to see your health decrease by that 75%, and then see your damage increase by that 75% when you do switch this armor on and off. Now, your health bar will still be like full. It doesn't limit your total health bar. It just limits your total health. So just keep that in mind, that when you do take hits while wearing this armor, it will chunk down most of your health. Now, you can mitigate this by having the perks that lower your damage reduction, as well as give you regeneration. So when you kill enemies, you get a little bit of health back. And then just having a lot of points in the samurai line will increase your overall health as well. So there are ways to mitigate that. So it's not too bad, but like plus 75% damage is... you can't really go wrong there, right? Like, it's just straight damage. And then you've got the Helmet of Legend to help you out. If, say, you do die, you'll then survive that hit and be able to stay alive because of the Samurai Stand that will trigger. Now, this was originally like my top set. I did think this was like the best set for Yasuke, but I do like one better. I'll explain why I do like it better, but that 75% damage absolutely can't go wrong, and you can combo it with the next set we're about to talk about, or any of the others. Now, the Helmet of Legend, you get this from a legendary chest behind an altar at the Nagasuna Falls. This is in the Hariyama region of the map. It's a little bit sort of up in the northwest-ish of that region. You'll be able to locate it there. And then at the Kenka Castle is where you will find the Samurai Daimyo Armor of Legend. You'll need to clear out that castle. It's been about the middle of the Hariyama region, so you'll probably have run into it just on your own travels. It's usually the helmets that were tricky one to get. The legendary Ronin set is my favorite Yasuke set. For one, it's like the best looking set in the game, in my opinion, for Yasuke. And two, the benefits of this set are really good without the negatives of the previous set that we just mentioned. So the helmet itself gives you +2 health segment removed on brutal assassinations. Not incredible, but like not bad. You will do a lot of brutal assassinations, but typically, unlike with Naoe, where you'll be able to stealth your way through an entire camp and then take out those like high health segment targets, with Yasuke, it's usually just like the first person you run into because you're not really stealthing as Yasuke. The real benefit though is the +50% damage while in combat after a brutal assassination. So essentially here, as long as you start combat with a brutal assassination, your damage will increase by 50%. And you can actually see this in the inventory screen as well. Once you have done that brutal assassination, if you bring up the inventory screen, you'll be able to see your damage has actually been multiplied multiplied by that effect. So a huge increase to your overall damage output. It's very easy to start combat encounters with brutal assassinations. And because there's no downside to this set like there is with the Samurai Daimyo set, that's why I prefer this one. I originally thought it would just be the Samurai Daimyo set, as it has been my favorite set of the game. But once I started really tinkering with this one, it was like, yeah, like you can still take damage here and it just doesn't really matter. Like you don't have to always be on your toes. You can have a little bit of free flowing, a little bit of fun in combat, not having to, worry about parrying every attack or avoiding damage completely. But a fantastic set to use, even though the Samurai Daimyo one is fantastic as well. You could totally combo these together and get like an additional 125% damage essentially in combat, as long as you start with brutal assassination. Just absolutely ridiculous, as most of Yasuke's sets are. The Casa of the legendary Ronin, the headpiece, this comes from the Fukichiwayama castle in the Tamba region of the map. This is like the final region of the map that you'll get very late in the story. Something to note about this castle is when you first get here, if you just like book it to this castle, it will actually be sort of like locked. Like the samurais won't have spawned. You won't be able to unlock the chest. You will need to complete Yagoro's quest in this area. Now, he's one of the allies that you will have run into if you have been collecting the allies. And also, if you want to know more about that ally, go and watch my ally video, which I'll link here as well. You will need to do his quest in this region in order to unlock this castle and actually have the samurais spawn for you to then unlock the chest. The outfit, you don't have to do anything like that. It's at the Miyazu Castle in the Tamba region as well. This is like in the top section of the Tamba region. You'll just need to clear out the samurais here as you typically would, and you'll be able to get the chest piece for this amazing set. But that's all I've got for you today. Let me know your favorite sets in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Naoe, and I hope you have a great day.